Well folks, a very good morning to you and welcome to a sunny River Ancombe here in the lovely county of Lincolnshire. You join me for part 2 of my review of the Story Ranger one-person kayak. Well folks, there she is, all inflated and ready to go. A couple of things that I just wanted to clarify from the first review that I did on this kayak. A couple of things I forgot to mention. It does come with this puncture repair kit and this valve key. I forgot to mention that. And at the aft of the boat, to the rear of the boat, it does have this drain valve, which also I think I forgot to mention. Well, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. A couple of things. The pump that comes with this kayak, the Story pump, actually there's nothing wrong with it other than the fact that I can't read the dial. I've not got the greatest vision in the world. I just cannot see the dial, so I've gone back to my trusty old itty wit one, where I can just show you the dial on that. Super clear, great for blind people like me. Also, the paddle that come with this kayak is, as we speak, is in the bin. I just do not feel confident with it. It feels to me that it's just going to disintegrate, and that's, you know, we can't be having any of that, can we? So once again, I've gone back to my own paddle. It's 260 centimeters tip to tip. I've sort of created that length. I get no water inside. It's nice and light, brilliant. Now this seat, when I done the unboxing, I wasn't sure that I was going to get on with this seat. I'm still not convinced that I'm going to. I've kind of got it as comfortable as I can by messing about in the back garden, but I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm unconvinced about, but we'll see. Hopefully my opinion will change after this review. The big thing is the air pressure. If you go online, it says one thing. If you read the manual, it says another. And if you look at what it says actually on the boat, it says something completely different as well. So it leads to a hell of a lot of confusion, and really we shouldn't be confused. I asked some people what their thoughts were on it. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. And everyone seems to be unsure. So, you know, I emailed Euroscape shop, didn't get a response. Emailed them again, didn't get a response. Rang them, spoke to somebody. I might as well have spoke to the man in the moon. They had no idea. So really bad service. No one's got back to me. No one's been able to clarify the point on PSI. So that kind of leaves us a little bit in limbo. Now, what do we do? The only thing for me really is to go by what it actually says on the valves. And on that valve there, on the side chambers, it says between 4 and 6 psi, with the maximum being 6 psi. So what I've done is I've inflated that to 4 psi, the lower psi, because, you know, as the weather warms up, you know, the air is going to expand, and we don't want any, you know, damage to the kayak. We want it to be safe. So, you know, number 4, it feels, you know, okay at 4. You know, I don't know if you can see that, just sort of light pressure. That's okay. Now on the floor, it says recommended pressure is between 8 and 10 psi. Again, I've inflated this to 8, and that feels really rigid, really solid. For me, 6 psi in these chambers just feels a hell of a lot of air. But what do we do if no one can give us a definitive answer as to what we should be putting in? To some extent, we have to use a little bit of common sense. So I'm just going to finish off attaching this seat, put that skeg in, and we're going to get on the river and bypass those two mean looking swans. So let's get this boat on the water. Well, managed to get past those swans. They looked a bit aggressive actually. I thought they was going to attack me. I was ready with my paddle to give them a clout on the nose. Should they have decided to have a go. So yeah, just started my paddle. Just got in. The water was an ordeal actually getting into it. The water level was quite low, so there was about a metre from the bank to the actual boat, and I tried that. I couldn't do that, and I found another sort of put-in area where the water was pretty much level with the bank, which to me is just as hard to do. So ungracefully I managed to get into the kayak, and I'm just going to have a paddle for 10-15 minutes and catch up with you. Now, I've been paddling for about 20 minutes, and I just wanted to give you my initial thoughts. What I love about this kayak, and this is purely a personal sort of thing, is I love the design of it, I love the colour of it. I think it's a really attractive kayak. I think they do it in orange as well. Not really for me, the orange one, but certainly this blue one. I think someone has really designed it to look, rather quite nice. The other thing that I would say about this kayak is it's so easy to kind of pump up. I mean, literally 5 minutes and it's inflated and you're pretty much ready to go. It is so easy, and once it is inflated, it's so light to carry to the sort of bankside, and I really like that. The one thing so far that's quite I have to say surprised me is just how comfortable this seat actually is. I mean, it's really comfortable. I'm going to paddle about a mile in one direction. There's a disused lock. I'm going to get out, make a cup of coffee, and then paddle back. And I'm probably about, I don't know, a third of the way, and my back feels fine. you know, I feel really comfortable, and I have to say I am pleasantly surprised, because I thought there was no way I was going to get on with this seat. So yeah, big thumbs up for that. Really pleased with that, because I do suffer with my back, and if my back starts playing up. And here on the River Ancombe, there's not many places where you can just pull over and rearrange the seat, so you either got to, you know, put up with it and it ruins your paddle, or, you know, turn back or whatever. But you know, I feel that I could paddle, you know, 2 or 3 miles and still feel quite comfortable. Stability. Well, you know, actually getting into this kayak was a bit of an ordeal, as I've just explained. Very difficult. And I got in, and the boat took a bit of a rocking from me. No problem at all. Really stable. You know, and it's you know, very difficult. I mean, you've got to go some to actually kind of tip this boat. You've got to do something pretty darn stupid, I would have thought, to sort of tip it over. But you know, the sort of paddling I do on rivers and canals, you know, I'm pretty confident that that's never going to happen to me unless I do something really stupid, like see a £10 note on the side of the bank. Then I might rush to go and get it before the wind blows it away, or someone else finds it. But no, seriously, it feels so stable. Really can't fault it. So again, a lot to be happy about. So I have to say, so far so good, and there's very little wind today, if any at all. The sun's shining, it's a real calm, still day. I don't know whether you can see, there's literally no real ripple on the water at all. Now, I'm quite a beginner when it comes to kayaking. This is only my my second kind of year. And one of the problems that I have is steering the kayak straight. And I'm hoping this camera's picking up that this is absolutely tracking dead straight. Very little effort to get it through the water. You know, it glides through the water effortlessly. You know, it just makes for really comfortable paddling. You know, I don't even have to think about it. It's just I put my strokes in, and honestly, I cannot tell you just how easy this kayak is to paddle. You know, if I stop paddling, you can just hopefully see how it just continues in a dead straight line. You know, and just keeps going and going. Now my Ittywit X100, as soon as you stop paddling, you kind of go backwards. You know, so this is a, well, I suppose a different concept onto kayaking for me, just how easy this is. It's so good to be back on the water. The weather's been not that great since Christmas, and kind of struggled really to get out. I like to paddle in the winter. Just love being out on the water in the winter time, and it's been so windy here in Lincolnshire that, you know, it's just really rarely been possible, and I don't want to push my sort of luck too much in the high winds, but I struggle enough with the weather's like this. Oh, there's a football there. Oh, someone's lost a nice football. I'll try to retrieve that on the way back. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So we'll paddle a little bit more, and I'll catch up with you in a few moments. Now, I've probably been paddling for about a mile and a half, and absolutely love it. Really enjoying it. It's so easy to paddle, so stable. It tracks so well. Now the reason why I personally bought this little kayak was just to, you know, kind of nip out with a tent, just to do a bit of sort of day camping, night camping. And I'm not so sure that I'm going to get all my stuff in here really. I'm like 6 foot, so my legs sort of go down quite a bit. Although I have got some room up that end, I've got some room at the back end. But yeah, I'm not so sure whether it's just going to be a little bit too small for what I intended to get in here. So the only other option that I have is it's only going to be a sort of bit of kayak camping, so it's only going to be like for one night really. It's just to cut down on the amount of stuff that I take. I'm not really a winter camper. I like sort of spring, summer really. So I don't need to take as much stuff when the weather is a little bit more milder. So yeah, for me to be able to use this kayak for my intended purpose, I'm definitely going to have to cut down a little bit on the amount of kit that I take, which I think is doable. It's not a problem. I can do that, and that way I think comfortably get what I need in here without feeling kind of cramped. But other than that, happy days. Right, so I think I've probably paddled about 2 miles, something like that, and I'm just about to have a break, a cup of coffee before I paddle back. So I'm just going to slow down a little bit, because that's where I want to be. Just gently come in, and then I can grab the side. There we go. So let's have a cup of coffee and have a paddle back. Alright, I think she's going to be happy there for 10-15 minutes. So I've tied it up against that signpost there, and I've tied it to my paddle and wedged the paddle against that piece of timber. So this is not the first time that I've been here. It's an absolutely wonderful place to just come and kind of chill. Someone's been cutting the grass. Okay. See if I can get down this bank without breaking my neck. A nice picnic area. Let's put that on there. Yeah, and here we are. This old disused lock. Which goes by the name of Harlem Hill. Isn't it? Really nice and peaceful. Now, for anybody that's interested, now the weather's sort of come right, but as for me, it's nice and much more milder. In the next few weeks, my intention is to sort of paddle from up that way, which is probably a couple of miles, I would have thought, maybe a bit more, to this lock, and have a night camping here. So this is in North Lincolnshire. So if anybody would like to join me for an evening, for a paddle, a camp and a paddle back, then by all means message me, and we can make it happen. But I'm certainly going to be having a night out here in a not too distant future. So yeah, if you're interested, anyone, let me know. Let's do it. Now this is interesting because the last time I was here, and if I can't remember what video I did, but I sort of walked over this bridge, and really it was that shallow. That was it. That's about as far as you could really go. This was a fraction of the width. So that's really good, because what that means is from here you can literally paddle up to Brandy Wolf, which is like a campsite kind of place, and then carry on to Brig if you're feeling really fit, and obviously up to Ferriby if you're feeling really fit. But I'm not sure how long this is going to be paddleable, if that's a word, for. But yeah, that's really good. So we can carry on, which I might actually do. But first of all, I think coffee time. Cheers. Spilling my coffee now. Absolute glorious day. So good to be out, especially out on the kayak. So this pretty much concludes the review of this this Story Ranger that I bought. And I suppose the question is, would I buy it again? And I have to say, yeah, definitely. The downside is dealing with the company. I'm really not impressed with the way they've handled things. They could do better, and that's kind of put me off, you know, purchasing from them again. What I did want to just say is that if you did watch the first part of this review, you'll remember that the bag and the footrest was covered in mildew. I did complain to the company and they did give me I think it was £72 refund. As for the bag, me personally, I wouldn't even call it a bag. It's a piece of material that you kind of fold up and strap together, and inside goes the kayak. So it's not, you know, I don't know how it could be classed as a bag personally, but again, it's just gone straight in the bin, and I'm on the lookout for a new bag for the kayak. In the meantime, I'm just putting it in the box that it came in. But as for the actual boat itself, I really have no complaints at all. I've paddled a couple of miles, my back's not hurt, my legs haven't hurt, I felt comfortable. You know, I've really enjoyed it. I mean, kayaking is such a great kind of sport and pastime, and you know, if you're paddling and your back's hurting or your legs are hurting, then you know it's not so great, is it? So you know, for me, it's brilliant, and it just glides through the water effortlessly. It really is worth, you know, every penny that I paid. Now I think I paid, I can't remember, I'll put it up on the screen if I'm wrong, but I think I paid about £350 for it, and that was with, I think they claim a 47% discount. So would I buy this kayak if it wasn't discounted? Probably not, because for me it's just to get my sort of overnight camping gear in, it's going to be a bit tight. I think I probably would have looked for something, I don't know, a bit bigger, or perhaps bought the two-seater. But as I said earlier on, you know, I can work around that. It's not the end of the world for me. I can just you know, pack a bit lighter. If it was winter time, well, perhaps that's something completely different, but I don't envisage that to be too much of a problem. But you know, all said and done, if you are in the market for a little single-seater kayak, I'm not sure that you're going to get really much better than this one. I cannot praise it enough. I've really enjoyed my paddle, and I'm going to drink my coffee and I'm going to enjoy my paddle back. I'm going to, maybe I'll put it on hyperlapse on the way back. And one thing I do want to show just before the day's over is how easy this is to actually spin around in the water. Just turn around, it's effortless, it really is. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, it's a new channel, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. It really does help. If anybody would like to join me on a paddle and an overnight camp here at this lock, then please let me know. Bring your own beer, of course. Yeah, I'm going to drink my coffee and enjoy the paddle back. Thanks for watching. Right, folks, just before I finish for the day, I just wanted to show you just how easy this this kayak is to turn, you know, around in the water. Now the Ancham is not really not the most widest river out there, and this boat, I'm not going to say it turns on a sixpence, but it turns, compared to my Ituit X100, it turns much easier, much more responsive. So I'm going to do a 180-degree turn, get a little bit of momentum, and then start turning to the right. And you can see, very little effort, very, very easy to do. Again, we're just a 360-degree turn. Very, very, very easy. And I say the Ancham is a very narrow river. The stretch that I'm on, where I've just done those turns, I've tried to find the most narrowest part where the reeds actually sort of protrude into the water quite a lot, probably by about 4 or 5 meters, and on that side as well. So you know, but a little help from the reeds, and yeah, very, very easy. So, but you can see, you know, you can get, like, I'm going against the tow. If I was to stop paddling, the boat would go backwards, so I'm going into the tow. You know, and it's very easy to get, it kind of just cuts through this, you know, the toe of this water. If I stop paddling, you know, you can see it kind of goes dead straight. And now if this was my X100, I'd be stopped, it'd be going backwards by now. So, you know, it's really effortless to paddle. I absolutely love it.